All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? And welcome to episode number 2 of Throw a Bash with Shawn and Kenny. I'm Kenny.
I'm Shawn. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us today. Super excited.
We're from Bash Entertainment, the world's greatest entertainment service company.
That's right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Ask my mom. She'll tell you.
That's
We
right.
are the best.
We're the best.
No, but seriously, thank you for joining us today. Super excited. Episode number 2. We got a super cool topic today. Kenny, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about what's on your do not playlist. The dreaded do not playlist. Is it dreaded, really?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like when they just blanket say no Bruno Mars. I'm
Absolutely
like, really? Why?
Nothing that's good.
Yeah. Or
don't play anything good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or nothing cheesy. It's like, well,
What does that mean?
this music is very subjective. Right.
What is cheesy to you? Cheesy to me might mean something totally different than it does to you.
So
let's talk about some of the specific things that we encounter. That's the whole point of what we're doing. We talk about the things that we encounter, different tips and tricks and things that advice, if you will,
maybe
that we can offer, helpful little nuggets, as we like to say, little nuggets
to help you out there in listener land shape your do not playlist.
Right.
Are there songs? Because definitely as an entertainment company, something that we strive to do is make sure that every event is unique and super custom to the music they like or don't like, right? We would never want, to kick on a song that, God forbid, the bride and groom or the couples I always
say, what's the song that is going to make you want to throat punch me if you hear it at your wedding? Those are the ones that we want to put on the do not playlist. That's how I stress it to them, because I don't want just the frivolous, well, I don't want any of this and I don't want any of that and I don't want whatever. I want to be like, what's going to make you cringe and get mad at me if I play it?
I had a client once who had a very specific taste in music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I get lots of those.
Lots of those.
Right?
And this one stood out. It was like an extremely specific taste, and I was concerned, thinking like a lot of, DJing a wedding, there's sometimes 3-4 hours of dance music, right? Yeah. So it can be challenging to keep it unique all night. Yes, you might play a Justin Timberlake song. Yes, you might want to play a Bruno Mars song because you have so many hours to fill, right? So when a client right out the gate is like, no Bruno Mars, no Justin Timberlake, no Taylor Swift, no Journey, Don't Stop Believin', no, you're kind of seeing red flags going up, like no line dances. They just cross everything off the list. You literally just covered everything that we're going to talk about in that 10 seconds that you just listened. Yeah. So
the episode's over.
Well, we're teasing it. That's why you want to keep listening. We have lots of nuggets in this episode.
Absolutely.
So, I literally sent them a list of 100 dance songs, and I said, because like we said, music is so subjective,
sure.
Right? Can you please circle the ones you like and cross the ones out you hate? And I thought they were going to cross out every single one of them.
Just get a full redacted list. It's just done.
Right, because if they don't like Justin Timberlake, I Can't Stop This Feeling, they probably won't like, Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk.
I was just getting ready to say the same thing.
Exactly.
DJs, we think alike a little bit. No.
So, but lo and behold, no. They did still like Bruno Mars in that instance or whatever. So I found out that
technically it's Mark Ronson anyway. Bruno's just a feature.
Right, yeah. We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't.
So
good job. Well, touche. That was well done.
So, but that was an eye-opening experience, and it gave me hope that, hey, even though they do have some very specific requests, this is going to be, very manageable and still have a ton of fun and able, to get the dance floor hopping. Because what sometimes the bride and groom may forget, and while we do want to keep it custom to them, they have invited 100, 200, 300 guests that we have to cater to as well.
Right. We've got to make all of them happy to the best of our ability, right? Which is our goal as the DJ and as the event professional. We want to make sure that everybody's having an amazing time.
Right.
We don't want just the very niche playlist that the bride and groom have selected because they only love Lord Huron and that's it, and they don't want to hear anything else because all that
why nobody's dancing on the dance floor.
Like why isn't anybody having any fun?
You know where that happens a lot is, and this is a popular genre, is EDM and dance music.
Yeah,
I get a lot of couples who are like, we love EDM. Because, and I do
Shout out to the rave experience.
Yeah, rave experience. Yeah. If you need the rave experience, Bash Entertainment, we have some killer upgraded dance lighting options. But anyway, so a lot of times they'll want, and I get all excited. I want to tell them about the rave experience when they tell me they want a lot of EDM. But typically what happens is it doesn't go over as great as they think it's going to, because Grandma's still there, Uncle Joe's still there. Their little
and Grandma's looking at you like, what in the hell is this
happening right now?
Boots and pants and boots and pants.
Pins and needles. So, So, there's ways, once again, tips and tricks to weave those songs in and out, give people little tastes of those EDM tracks.
Have a set.
Yeah, what songs maybe have an EDM, like I Got a Journey, Don't Stop Believing, like EDM remix.
Well, and EDM is also kind of... It's
very
one
generic
of those,
way of describing it.
It's one of those genres that a lot of people think that they don't know, but honestly, you hear a lot of really popular EDM songs in top 40.
Yes.
There's that whole vibe. It may not be like the hardcore EDM lover isn't going to vibe with all of that per se.
EDM elements in the song. A lot of LMFAO songs have EDM elements in them. Or, even
Calvin Harris,
David
Guetta, like some of them were super popular people.
Exactly.
Tiesto, all that stuff, right?
All those tracks, and they do slap on the dance floor at the right time. They bang and get people going.
Absolutely.
And it is super fun when you're at the wedding where it does go over right.
When you're in that 128, 130 to 131 zone BPMs, that's awesome.
And you're like, oh, this is killer. But even then, 4, 5, 10 songs maybe, you got to switch it up.
Guarantee EDM is on somebody's do not playlist. There's a bunch of people like, do not play that.
And exactly. And that's why we want to know. People are worried. Actually, you're right. A lot of times people are worried, are you going to turn my wedding into like an EDM rave?
Right. Is this going to be like a clave? A clave?
What is a clave?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what.
I might want it to be a clave. No.
A clave would be so good. People either want you to turn it into a club or they absolutely don't want you to turn it into a club.
That it's going to be a bunch of dirty rap music and you're going to be scratching all night and like doing shout outs.
So what are like the typical, do not playlists, right?
Yeah.
So what are the typical ones that you come across? For me, a lot of it is the interactive novelty line dances, or let's just go there, the chicken dance for the love, right? The hokey pokey, right? How many times have you heard somebody say, absolutely no hokey pokey, no chicken dance? And I'm like, absolutely no problem. I don't want to play those songs either.
Yes. No, I stopped. If I turn myself around, I no longer play those songs. I'll admit, here, can I make a DJ confession? Can I make a DJ confession?
Yes.
Early on in my career, which camera? Early on in my career, I may have played the chicken dance or the hokey pokey at a wedding or two. I apologize.
I've done it at multiple weddings, and I make no such apology because I'm telling you right now, every time that I've ever played it at a wedding, it has gone over
slaps
like gangbusters.
Well, that's why I did it for so long in the beginning. Because like I said, I've been DJing for 18 years.
Yeah. It was much more popular when I first started. It was a much more common occurrence.
A lot of these other songs weren't out yet.
It's very...
The Cupid Shuffle, the Cha-Cha Slide.
It's very uncommon now.
It's very uncommon. There's a lot of other very popular ones to turn to if line dances are a go. But like you said, commonly, they're on the do not playlist.
Well, and even now, I get a lot of brides and grooms who don't want to hear the Cupid Shuffle, who don't want to hear the wobble. They don't want to hear the Cha-Cha Slide.
Right.
Or they want to hear one, but not the other two.
Yes.
Or, hey, I'm okay with the wobble,
but not the cha-cha.
Yeah. But don't play no cha-cha slide.
And don't play the Macarena. Or they don't want the cha-cha. They don't want the Cupid, but
they're all Macarena.
Yeah. So it's tough sometimes.
Or they're chicken dance and none of the others. Like, it's so weird.
Yes.
But again, this goes back to what we talk about all the time. Every event is unique. Every event is different.
Yes.
And you have to adapt to...
You really do.
Every... one of those situations.
Polka can get requested. It gets requested often and clearly is a very specific genre of music and can turn some people off, but at the right wedding, it can be fun.
And also you don't live there.
You don't live there. You don't need to listen to polka all week for the rest of your life.
Well, no, I mean, and that night, you're going to play a set. You're going to play a couple. You're going to get in. You're going to get out and just,
I know, right? Yes. Every song is 2 to 3 minutes.
The need. We're going to help them scratch the itch, if you will.
And then we'll move on into other things. We're not going to play polka all night. But yes, commonly interactive line dances are on the do not playlist.
Cotton Eye Joe.
That's one of them.
Whip and Nay Nay.
Yeah, the Whip Nay Nay. So, and we view these songs as cheesy ourselves, and we know as DJs that these typically are not the most popular choices. So
is this something that you're listening to in your vehicle right now when you're listening to music? Are you rocking the cha-cha slide or the wobble?
Right. If I'm at the gym working out, which is rare.
you're back it up.
Yeah. I'm not listening to the cha. If I'm like on a road trip and get to listen to music I want to listen to, like I'm not going to a live concert for DJ Casper to hear the Cupid Shuffle or whatever. No, it's a great song. It's contributed to the wedding industry. Sure, it gets people dancing still, but a good DJ also doesn't play the whole song. You don't need all 8 minutes of the wobble.
You don't have to play the entire thing. One and two,
you can space them out.
You don't like as much fun as they can be. And I always think of these songs as throwing money on the dance floor. Because everybody's going to come out for these songs, typically. For a wobble, Cupid Shuffle, cha-cha, whatever.
I mean, they tell you how to dance. What did you say earlier that a lot of people are scared of speaking? A lot of people are scared of dancing.
Sure.
A lot of people feel like they got two left feet. So line dances, surprise, they are typically popular because they tell you how to do the dances, right? So,
and it's a great tool for us if the dance floor isn't quite rocking just yet. It's a great way to get a bunch of people out there and just as you said, get them to break the ice on the dance floor for themselves, get loosened up a little bit, and feel like they can have a space on the dance floor that's okay.
And then you move on to other things, and you didn't play all 8 minutes on the wobble and tire them out right out the gate.
8 minutes, that's the Cupid, that's the cha-cha.
Right. Well, I went to a wedding once. It was a terrible experience as a guest, and the DJ played... I describe this sometimes to clients. I think maybe this is the wedding they went to and why they now put these songs on the Do Not playlist. The DJ played the cha-cha. He opened up the dance floor with the cha-cha slide and then followed it with the wobble and the Cupid Shuffle.
Wow.
And everybody danced to it.
That's really shooting your wad right out of the gate there.
He really did. He really blew it right out of the gate.
Terrible expression, but you know what I mean.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. So he had... He basically blew his wad right away, and he had no other tricks up his sleeve for the rest of the night.
That's terrible.
And he exhausted his guests. His guests were now exhausted.
Right, because you're dancing for 20 minutes doing line dances.
Yes.
20 minutes nonstop.
So, and then he struggled the rest of the night.
Give me a slow song, bro.
Right. So
let me get a drink of water.
Yeah.
All right. So that I think that sufficiently covers the line dancing, interactive novelty.
So if those are on your Do Not playlist, no problem. We can crush a wedding without them.
Right. We can work around all those, but also keep in mind that your guests are probably going to want to hear one or more of those songs.
You can leave them as a play only if requested.
I do that a lot. That's exactly what I do a lot of times with bride and groom. Is like, look, I'm going to put like a 5 request threshold on this song.
Yes.
If 5 people come up and request it, that's going to be enough for me to say, these people really want to hear this song.
Yes.
And we should play it.
Yep. Right? And then sometimes if the bride and groom still wins, I'll take it a step further and make sure you guys are out of the room taking golden hour photos.
Nice. That's good. I like that trick
too.
So bride's out of the room.
Yep.
I'll play the song.
Cupid
Here's the song that she hated.
Chicken Dance.
We'll play that one. All right. So some of the others that are on the Do Not playlist that you get very commonly are what I would call the classic wedding songs, like your YMCA,
Love Shack,
Love Shack,
Celebration,
Caroline, Don't Stop Believing. We've talked about Don't Stop Believing many times, right?
Yeah,
so far already. And this is only our second episode. We brought up Don't Stop Believing at least 4 times.
Super popular song,
right? Or super hated.
So a lot of people hate it.
For some people, how many times have you been told, "Don't you play that song?"
Don't play that, and it's a bummer. And I think maybe it is because it's like anything; it's maybe played out. It's played too much. They've heard it at too many weddings. They want their wedding to be unique.
I use it as a closer for weddings for probably 5 straight years.
It's just
for a minute there for like 5 of those years. Every wedding. I think that's a
confession you need to make.
I use "Don't Stop Believing" for like 5 straight years to close every single wedding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it was probably epic. I bet everybody sang along at the top of their lungs.
It was a killer.
In a giant
absolutely.
circle.
It always went over like gangbusters.
Yeah, it's a banger. Another good one.
It's a mature expression. Mature reference.
All right.
Some of them like Celebration, YMCA. I stopped playing those for a long time, and I've actually kind of started playing some of them again because I'm not getting the don't play that kind of stuff.
YMCA for me is one of those songs. I stopped playing for a long time.
I saw a video that you put on social I think it was last week, and you had the dance floor just killing it to YMCA. I was like, that's so awesome.
You know what? Another good reason to go with a good DJ company. I have an awesome DJ edit, right? So as DJs, we don't just, sure, we buy music on Spotify and iTunes, but we also are part of record pools where we get custom DJ edits.
So they have custom, like intros and outros, or they have a redrum
behind it.
Right.
So it amps up the original version. It's maybe a shortened, condensed version.
Modernizes it a little bit.
Yeah, it's got the best parts of the songs in it, and they slap a lot better on the dance floor. YMCA has been one of those songs that lately.
Well, it's a lot easier as a DJ too to mix.
Ton easier to blend.
If you have that DJ edit available to you. Right?
Exactly.
That's much, much better. So when it comes to those kinds of classic songs, it's easy to stay away from. It's really easy as a DJ that has a large repertoire of music and a vast knowledge of different styles and genres of music, which you and I both have. We've been doing this a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for me to eliminate even what I would see as very popular songs.
Yes.
It's not a big deal.
It's not.
I used to get worried about it.
There's so much music.
Oh, if I can't play this song, what am I going to do?
Yes.
Like it's such an integral part
of my set. And then as soon as you do
a
few of those weddings, you realize, oh, I can survive.
Absolutely.
And still crush a wedding.
And that's too, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or whatever, or you. Yeah, go ahead. I don't want to hurt my arm. But it's a testament to the level of professionalism, and I can't even say the word. I can do it, but I can't say it.
Yes, it's a big word.
It's a testament to the level of professionalism that you have as a DJ.
Yes,
and to your experience, in that you are able to work without whatever songs you want me to work without. It doesn't matter.
Right,
I can handle anything.
No, exactly. So, and that's one of the fun things of being a DJ is working with those challenges and still getting them excited. Or, sometimes they want a lot of Disney music. And Disney music sometimes can be tough, almost like, how am I going to mix Disney music as a DJ or something?
Right.
But when you find a way to blend, a Lion King song over a hip hop song, you're like, that was awesome, So
Sylvania.
There you go. Yeah. So it gets everybody excited.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I love it. I just needed to hold up a baby there, and I would have done that. All right. Another.
What else we got?
Do not playlist issue.
Yes.
Clean or dirty edit.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
Big one.
What's your?
So what do you mean by clean or dirty?
Okay, so clean or dirty. So explicit lyrics.
Okay.
Or not explicit lyrics. I think that a lot of songs have content that is. Implies whatever it implies, sexuality, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But at least a radio edited version of most of those songs is what I would say is the standard for most groups of people, because if they're playing it over the airwaves and the FCC approves it, then I'm not out of bounds by playing it here in that form, in that radio edited form. So clean means no explicit lyrics. Dirty means all of the explicit lyrics.
All of them in there.
And that could mean, in some respects, that could mean an entire song that maybe doesn't have a lot of cursing, but is just very god-awful dirty.
Derogatory or descriptive.
What's the first song I'm thinking of? I'm sure. WAP.
Yeah.
How many times you get asked for that?
A lot. And they want the dirty version.
And who wants to play the clean version of that song?
Every other word is bleeped out. It sounds really weird. I do have a decent DJ. I'll hook you up. I got a decent clean DJ edit, but it doesn't hit as hard. And I get why they want the dirty version, because the clean version doesn't hit as hard. It doesn't have the same impact, but it's like, and they'll want that song super early in the night. I'm glad it's starting to die out already.
That's the problem, is the timing.
Yeah,
for me.
Like, can we at least wait till like 11 when? Yeah.
I typically, I've told you this before. I typically have like a 10 o'clock rule.
Right.
Before 10 o'clock, I really don't want to play anything that's got explicit lyrics.
A lot of things got to line up. It's got to be the bride literally telling me to my face, if you need to play this song now,
go. Do it. Like if it's before 10, for sure.
Right.
And even in that, I'm going to discuss with the bride and groom.
I'm going to give her some advice on, are you sure your little niece is still here?
Right. That's my other issue. Like, are their kids still there? And grandma and grandpa are still there? And my goodness.
And if she's like, I don't care, I paid you, I want to hear that song, it's coming on.
And she's going to be like, hey, my grandma's a married woman. She knows exactly what all this is. It's fine.
Yeah. Because I've heard horror stories of that too, where some DJs, they won't play. Like, at the end of the day, it's your wedding. You totally. And
I'm
freedom
with
of
you.
expression and it's
I'm
just
with
words.
You're paying me.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you what you want.
Right.
It's going to come with some caveats. We're going to have a discussion about it beforehand. When we have our meetings, we're going to talk about this in depth. If this is something that you really want.
Because honestly, I do try to avoid it because it is not the image we're trying to portray.
And every person at that wedding is a potential client.
Exactly.
Right.
And somebody may take a video and post it on social media, and then people
and then you
think,
look like a jerk.
I look like the jerk that plays WAP at every wedding.
Yeah.
Or WAP or whatever.
It's WAP. You're saying
what does that stand for?
I'm not going to discuss that. We're not going to get into that. So I played Get Low when I was in Chicago.
Okay.
Doing a wedding. Beautiful.
From the windows to the wall?
So that was the problem, is I couldn't tell where the windows and the walls were because it was all windows. So they couldn't, like when they were pointing, they were all pointing in different directions.
I've had that song on the Do Not playlist.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I think they think it's played out by now, the windows to the wall thing.
I love that
Which
song.
I love that, and I love it when people do it. And I love it when it works out perfect and you're like, from the window to the wall.
It is 100% on my set list every single wedding.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
You're waiting for that right time. You're like, here we go. This is the time I'm going to
right.
drop it.
Yeah,
and then you're bummed it's gone. You're like,
I can't wait to bust it out.
Yeah, yep. And then when it's gone, you're like, I can't go back to it. And that's another thing. We definitely try to avoid ever playing songs twice. Does it happen? Yeah. Does a bride want to hear it again?
Only if the bride says, hey, I need you to play this again.
The only other time I'll play songs twice is if it was their intro song into the reception room, and it was a fun upbeat song, and we only got to hear 30 seconds of it, and only they got to dance to it. Or, if it's just like that threshold of requests, and you like make sure to clear it with the bride or something, like clearly maybe everyone was outside smoking or something, and so we need to play it again. But
quit smoking.
Yes, exactly.
Especially at a wedding, because that takes away from the DJ experience.
Smokers at weddings is the worst, isn't
You're
it?
killing my dance floor.
Yeah, you guys are all outside smoking. It's brutal.
Get back in here. All right, so let's talk a little bit about country music.
Ooh, country music.
So a lot of times, and I experience this quite a bit.
Like what kind of country music?
Okay, so country music is wildly popular. Music? There are more country music radio stations than any other genre, and the United States has the most country music stations in the world. Right, very very popular genre of music.
Luke Bryan has like 27 #1 hits.
It's ridiculous, right? Country music is insanely popular.
Yes.
Sometimes brides and grooms absolutely, positively love them some country music.
Yes.
And they want to incorporate that into their wedding. And then sometimes the groom is like, yeah, I'm kind of into country music. And the bride looks at you with those eyes like daggers, like I'm going to kill you if you play country music at my wedding.
And I think she's picturing like, that.
Like just all friends in low places nonstop.
Like Garth Brooks and which all that stuff can be great in the right environment. Or a lot of them hate this new like pop country, the Florida Georgia
the bro
line.
country,
the bro country.
Yeah, Luke Bryan's bro country, right?
Can I make a confession?
You love bro country?
I kind of don't mind bro country. That sounded really weird.
My dad surprised me recently by telling me how much he loves bro country, which I
find myself
would have expected,
because I definitely am not a huge traditional country fan. I'm really not.
See, I like more of the more traditional, like Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. Like I like that type of stuff.
Maybe I'm wrong then. I picture that as more classic. Because that's what I like. I like Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, that's good stuff. Waylon Jennings.
There you go.
Stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of like Travis Tritt and like. Achy breaky heart.
Oh, come on. Some achy breaky.
Don't break my heart.
Come on.
Achy breaky heart.
When's
the last time you played that?
Oh my God. That's definitely on a lot of do not playlists right there. No achy breaky. Well, it's been a long time since
because it's a breakup song.
Well, yeah. It's been a long time since that was a really you dare play that at my wedding. Like
because it was so about breakups?
Well, no, just because it was a terrible song.
It was terribly awkward.
Just because it was an awful song.
Yeah. See, I think luckily as a DJ.
Maybe it's because of mullets. I don't know.
I missed a lot of that era, I think. Or when I started DJing, it wasn't even on my radar. I may have played Achy Breaky like once.
Well, that's super 90s, right?
Yeah.
That's super 90s.
Yeah. But, being in the area, I live in Howell, Livingston County. We definitely get a lot of country weddings, a lot of barn weddings where they want a lot of country.
So how do you incorporate country?
So country can be tough.
when you're concerned about your dance floor, because that's not always conducive to the best dance floor either, right?
Well, I can tell you about it after I tell you about Robert Pierce and This Guy Cleans House.
Do tell.
So real quick shout out to Robert Pierce.
Sponsorship
of our podcast. Thank you, Robert. Robert owns an awesome company called This Guy Cleans House. You can find him on the internet at thisguycleanshouse.com, or you can find him on Facebook or Instagram at This Guy Cleans House. So people getting married, people planning events, obviously they're stressed. Their schedule is busy. They're probably behind on house chores, on cleaning up, or they're going to be after the wedding.
Most people are.
Right. And then what's the usually first thing you do after you get married? You buy a house, right?
Yeah.
So
need that house clean?
You got to get that house clean. You need to call Robert Pierce at This Guy Cleans House.
This Guy Cleans House.
Make sure to check him out. We're going to attach all his info down below. Make sure to call Robert at This Guy Cleans House.
Thanks, Robert. All right.
So let's get back into it.
How are you going to clean up your dance floor with country music?
That's Thank you. Right. Say you can't call Robert there to clean up the dance floor, right?
Come and
you got to get some
country tunes off.
Yeah,
the
bride comes up. I thought you were going to play more country, So there's different ways to mix it in, and you got to read the crowd just like anything else. If you see a lot of cowboy boots and cowboy hats, you're fine playing some country, right? And one thing we like to tell bride and grooms who are struggling with that idea, because typically they know that it's maybe not the most popular, or that it's not the easiest to dance to typically. They'll say, we love country, but we realize we don't want to turn it into a honky tonk. We don't need 4 hours of country music. So I tell them, country music is great for cocktail.
Sure.
Bro country is great for cocktail.
Absolutely.
Florida Georgia Line.
A lot of it, too, is that sort of mid-tempo, not really good for dance music. Like it's a 90, 95 BPM.
Body like a back road.
Right?
Yeah.
That's got kind of that cool chill
vibe. It's a good
vibe.
cocktail vibe.
Right.
You typically listen to it on the boat or
slow
around a bonfire.
Also. Slow songs.
Slow
dances. That's my number one way to work
Tennessee
the country
whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Dan and Shay
Speechless Dan and Shay. Seriously, I threatened you with singing that song earlier today.
Let's hear it right now.
No.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not going to. Because I'm speechless. No, sorry.
I'm speechless now.
No,
that was brutal.
That was
so don't worry. We won't sing at your wedding either.
No.
But that's extra.
It costs extra.
No. So country,
it's not a part of the rave experience.
Not a part of the rave experience. You weave it in, and then there is though a skilled DJ company like ourselves. We have some killer country playlists, and we can still mix in some country bangers when the time is right.
Absolutely.
To fill that, to scratch that itch.
Because again, every event is unique, and every event needs to be in and of itself a special thing by itself. And it's always going to have.
What are some of your favorite
country
dance songs?
Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy is always a huge winner. Country Girl, Luke Bryan is always a big one.
Right. I like to do Any Man of Mine.
That dude,
or
that one.
Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Man, I Feel Like a Woman. My last wedding in Chicago, dude, that set, I started the night with that song, and the dance floor just never stopped after that. It was
awesome.
The perfect way to get going for that
That's
group.
a good idea for a dance floor opener if you feel like it's
for
a country
that
crowd.
Group, it worked wonderfully.
How interesting. Right? So here you are DJing a travel wedding in Chicago, and it kind of is a country vibe.
Uh-huh.
So talk about being super adaptive and being able to.
You got to go with the flow.
Got to read the crowd. Go with the flow.
Exactly. Well, that's about our time for this episode, Shawn.
Awesome.
You are a super interesting guy today. I like the country music talk especially.
Yeah.
I've learned a little bit about you. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you've listened this long, we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And remember, don't have a party.
Throw a bash. Thank you, guys. See you next time.
Peace out.